Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, time for the starter showdown. This is going to be a hopefully quick video on what I think the best starter in Pokemon Sun and Moon is. And be sure to stick around to the end of the video as I'm going to be doing a special giveaway. There's a lot of backing on why I chose the starters that I did. I have base stats in here, I have move pools from leveling up, and a whole bunch of other information. I played through Pokemon Moon, and then my second playthrough on Sun, I had all three starters with me, so I was able to give a real gut feeling on what they all brought to the table. I'm only going to be focusing on leveling up moves, not TMs. I will be sharing my experiences with you on how I played through the game with them, which may involve some TMs, but no spoilers. Unless you don't know what the three of them evolve into, then you probably shouldn't be watching this. So let's dive right into it. First up, Rowlet, who evolves into Decidueye, or as I'm going to refer to him, Robin Hood. Rowlet and its evolved form are grass flying, and then when it evolves to Decidueye, it drops flying and gains Ghost. Why? Does it die or something? Out of all the starters, Decidueye has the most weaknesses. He's weak to flying, ghost, fire, ice, and dark. So he's weak to 130 Pokemon in the game. And that's not including bite. And I see a lot of Pokemon with this move. And Decidueye's defense base stat being only 75 and a health of 80, it's always a risky play. I have no idea that the Pokemon that I'm battling is going to be faster than me. He hits me with a bite, I'm down to half or less HP. Hits me with a crunch, forget about it. And a side note, it seems like every, for lack of a better term, mystic Pokemon in the game, that's either Psychic, Ghost, Fairy, or Dark, seems to have access to at least one Ghost or Dark move that will just hit Decidueye, super effective. He gains immunity to normal and fighting, which would be great if it was his first forms typing. But when you're playing through the game in the low levels and the wild Pokemon and the trainers have all normal moves, you don't have that ghost typing yet. He has 4 resistances: ground, water, grass, and electric. With 2 immunities and 4 resistances, he has slightly less coverage than the other 2 typings defense-wise. But that's not a bad lineup of resistances, especially since I feel like Pokemon that learn these moves are usually specialty Pokemon. What I mean by that is you're not going to run around and see a fish in the water and wonder if it's a water type and he pops out with a fire move, unlike a normal type that has bite, or an electric type that has bite, or a fire type that has bite. You get the point. His stat spread is meant to hit hard and soak up a special attack or 2. Another thing that bothers me is that all of his attacks are physical. Why does he have that high of a special attack? By leveling up and the move relearner, he can learn U-Turn, Brave Bird, Leaf Blade, and Spirit Shackle. Verdict. I only pulled out Robin Hood when I was trying to catch a Pokemon. He learned Synthesis or Roost by TM, False Swipe by TM, and Swords Dance to help power up that False Swipe. And when I was going after low-level Pokemon for SOS calls that had mostly normal moves, he wasn't even hit. In battle, he was only great against fighting types. But with only a 60 power pluck attack until he learned Brave Bird, and Brave Bird isn't the best move when you're going through a dungeon. It takes quite a bit of damage. He also gets some shots off on water types that don't have ice moves. He could also get some shots off on ground types, although many of them that were bulkier withstood a Razor Leaf until he was finally able to learn Leaf Blade. But more times than not, he was torn apart by any Psychic type, Fairy, Ghost, or Dark that was faster or bulkier with even just a single Ghost or Dark move. Incineroar. Litten evolves into Macho Man Randy Savage. He's a fire dark type, weak to 4 types: fighting, ground, rock, and water. This makes him weak to 147 Pokemon in the game. Out of those 4 typings, fighting and rock can catch you by surprise. It's not uncommon of a non-rock type Pokemon to learn moves like Rock Slide or Rock Throw, and fighting moves are spread throughout the game. However, Incineroar has the highest physical defense out of the 3 at a base stat of 90. While the other 2 are about 15 points behind, he was the only one of the 3 that had some defense to the giant slew of dark type Pokemon and moves in the game. His special defense is the lowest. It's only 10 behind Decidui, but it's 26 under Marina. The good news is, out of his weaknesses, Water is the only one that has more special than physical. He's immune to Psychic, which all Dark types are, so that's not a huge advantage, but it helps with his subpar special defense. He's resistant to Ghost, Steel, Fire, Grass, Ice, and Dark, which is great. I found him at the front of my party more times than not with a diverse resistance and an amazing attack. Oh? I didn't mention his attack? Well, it's 115. It's the highest of the three. It's his best stat. While it's not amazing compared to legendaries, megas, or pseudo-legendaries, he's just 5 points behind Blaziken and 15 behind Mega Charizard X. Let's talk moves. I know I'm gonna say this wrong, but I'm just gonna go for it. Darkest Lariat, Fire Blitz, Outrage, Cross Chop, Thrash. Wow. He gets 5 great moves of various types, all of them physical. Leveling up, he even gets to learn Bite. My verdict? I loved thrashing about with Macho Man Randy Savage. With him in the starting slot of my game, he wasn't very fast, but when I got my turn, it was usually a one-hit KO with a great attack and diverse move pool. Whenever I knew my opponent was going to be bringing out a water, ground, rock, or fighting type, I switched them out. Even though I'm pretty sure I could have taken a hit or two, but I didn't really have any great moves to use against those types. Marina. Here we have ourselves a big, singing, water fish seal. A water fairy type, Marina is tied with Incineroar for immunities and resistances, but has the least amount of weaknesses out of the three. Only weak to poison, grass, and electric, this ballerina is only weak to 92 Pokemon in the game. And all 3 of these are fairly easy to spot. Marina has the worst attack and defense out of the 3 at 74 base stat each. However, most of the moves coming at it from grass, water, and poison types aren't physical attacks. What it lacks in physical, it makes up its special. 126 special attack, 116 special defense. Dang. That makes it the best special attacker and special defender out of all the generation starters ever. It even rivals Mega Venusaur's special stats. Let's see if it puts it to use. Its moves: Hydro Pump, Sparkling Aria, Moonblast, Hyper Voice. So its moves aren't varied. It does have some of the best water and fairy moves, and that's okay. It's meant to be tankier than the rest. It also learns Sing and several other moves that mess with the opponent's stats. My verdict. I used my Marina, or as I called her, Lulu, somewhat reluctantly. It was never in the forefront of my mind like, oh, let's get Lulu for this. I had to give it some TMs. I gave him Ice Beam and Psychic to help out against the poison and grass types. Even though it was never a go-to Pokemon for me, she always held herself when she was in. Time for the final verdict. Before I let you guys know who I think the best starter is, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I'm giving away some mythical Pokemon. I know some viewers weren't able to get their hands on the mythical Pokemon that were given away this year by a certain retail store. So I'm just going to be giving away some Hoopas, Deonceys, Darkrai's, Genesects, Mews, Meloettas, and more. Just leave a thumbs up, a comment, and by the way, if you want to see more videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I mean, after all, you need to know who's going to win, right? Now, without further ado, time for the final verdict. Not Rowlet. My final verdict is not Rowlet. With way too many weaknesses, he's frail, and nowhere near fast enough to make up for it. Then it just came down to Litten and Popplio. And honestly, it was a pretty good toss-up. Lulu was tankier, but Randy Savage can also take a punch thrown his way. But that, mixed with everything else, I'm going to have to say it was Incineroar. A great diverse move pool, bulky enough to take a hit, and great for dishing out damage. It kind of reminds me of Emboar from Gen 5, but better and not hideous. I did enjoy my Popplio, but when I already had a Munchlax on my team from the mystery gift when the game came out, why would I need another slow tank? It's not like it had a great diverse move pool or anything that I could really just tear apart whatever came my way with. It was a safe play. And usually the fire types tend to be a little bit more fun. For me, Incineroar was more fun to play with. So what do you think? Be sure to leave a comment down below if you liked my video, and my tried and true method of how I came to my conclusion of not Rowlet. If you love Rowlet and you think that I am completely wrong, be sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know your side of the story. I'll be sure to read up on it. And stay tuned for my upcoming videos and my next video plan, which is the best Generation 7 alternative starters.